Show you this, you ready? Dun, dun, dun. Speaking of turquoise, here we go. Oh, I love this new collection. All right, so now we're gonna talk about a brand new collection. You have your choice of, we've got the necklace, we have the earrings, right, available, and we've got the ring and the cuff, right? Do I have the whole thing?
Right, there's a whole suite
I'm
of
so
this.
excited about this, Jay. So I go to put this on. I know I'm loud, I'm sorry, I'm just loud because I get excited about what Jay does. He knows it. Les is already, he just stands there and goes, okay girl. I want you to see, look at this cuff, look at this ring. And I put it on, I looked at Jay before we even went on the air and I go, oh my gosh, this is gonna be gone so fast. For the first time ever, Jay, you have combined turquoise and a stunning, stunning opal on this.
This is precious opal from Australia. Okay, now, what have you been seeing through us with precious opal, the Australian precious opal? I'll tell you what you've been seeing. You've been seeing a lot of micro opal inlay, right?
Yep.
And that's because that's all the material is. This material right here that you're seeing in these designs is impossible to get. It's impossible. And the only reason that I have it is a good friend of mine. They got it. Somebody owed them money. And he's an opal miner. And he went ahead and sold him these cabochons. You just don't see this material. These are really limited. This is something, if you're a collector, if you really want that thing that's unusual, if you want that design that nobody else is going to have, this is something you truly need to consider. This is one of the first times ever that you've seen me, number one, combine precious opal from Australia, and this is blue basin turquoise. This is like that deep, deep, rich blue. I think if you've watched me before, you know this is the most expensive turquoise that I own. Now, it's not the turquoise, the Sleeping Beauty that I have, and a lot of the turquoises that I have that are really, really rare, they're probably worth more dollar-wise, but this is the most I ever paid for turquoise rough. So you have the combination.
Did you cringe? Can I ask you that?
Well, I didn't cringe as much as my CFO who writes the checks.
It's like, how much you pay for that turquoise?
But no, they cringe a lot sometimes when I do stuff, and they just go, are you out of your pea-picking mind? I took a lot of heat for this. At the time, it sounded like a wonderful, wonderful deal for me. And at the time, this is when these high blue turquoises, they were just impossible to get. So
it's
I went ahead
pretty turquoise,
and
Jay.
I bit the bullet and got this. But this is to die for. But the main thing that really makes this is the fact that you got the precious opal cabochons. I used up every single piece that I had. And again, it's one of those fluke buys. It's just one of those fluke accidents that I was even able to obtain the material.
Jay, it's beautiful. So the first two choices are your earrings and the necklace. Please appreciate all the sterling silver he uses. It's amazing. And Ruth in Ohio, I'm gonna take your call. Is that for me? Is that Ruth for us? Ruth, hang on one second. Just gotta give you the details. Yes, extension, we love that. Pendant comes off, how awesome would this be? With a nice little summer baked or fake tan. Gorgeous, just the pendant, the necklace by itself. That beautiful blue color is pretty as can be. And again, 3 more inches to work with. The pendant's amazing. You can put it on our collar we now have available again, which is usually sold out. I'll show you that in just a second. The earrings are so pretty. They're such a great statement piece. And I'm just gonna give you a little heads up. There's the cuff, it's coming up, and there's the ring. And Jeff, if we can you get a really tight shot on the design? Because you have to appreciate how stunning the opal is, and then how vibrant and natural blue that turquoise is. Oh, thanks. I don't, you know what? I think it's okay, but I think my shot's better, to be honest with you. Let me show you. Sorry, I really do, because this is breathtaking. You just don't really understand it almost, Jay, until you see it in person, quite frankly, because it's really stunning.
It's really amazing, and this is precious opal, so it has the property of what they call opalescence, which is in the precious opal, you have those little, like little fires, little lights that are emanating from the natural stone. But what makes this so unique and so unusual is you have 2 of the most expensive rough materials that I really am able to get and I'm able to use. And that being this high blue. Like I said, this is the most I ever paid for turquoise rough. And then you can't buy this. To be honest with you, you know, I have my Australian pilot's license, okay, and I have trumped the tundra.
Of course he does.
I've trumped the tundra. I can tell you some really funny stuff about flying in Australia. I have some amazing stories.
Is that for our late night show?
Yeah, I just can't really tell it on the air right now. So here's the thing. They have an incredible sense of humor. We used to go to all the different Opal fields, and when I first started doing it, I would drive, and I would rent like a Land Rover or a Land Cruiser, and it would take anywhere from 4 to 6 weeks to go around and visit a couple of the mines, of the deposits. So what I did is I went ahead and got my add-on on my pilot's license, and I used to fly. Now you have to understand.
Wait, do they fly on the left side?
They do. Well, I can tell you some stories.
You know, like in England, you gotta.
There are no rules when you fly in the outback in Australia.
Oh, there's just nothing. It doesn't matter. You can fly upside down if you want to. It just doesn't matter.
Let me tell you something. Nobody could catch you if they wanted to. There's nobody out there monitoring. You can do whatever you want.
I want to move to Australia.
Okay, here was my typical thing that I used to do. You would go and everybody has, all the mines have this. They have a bar, a pub. They have